What's up, everyone? Mr. NoobTube Gamer. Today we're playing the greatest Call of Duty of all time, Black Ops 1. Yeah, I think it is the best Call of Duty game that has ever come out. A lot of you might disagree with me, but all of you would be wrong if you did, because this is just a perfect game. Like, I really can't say anything bad about this game, and I am being genuine. Like, I can't think of one. Even Second Chance and all that shit, I thought that shit was fun, and it was actually kind of cool. Like, just fucking pulling out your pistol when your enemy thinks that they killed you and just fucking their shit up. I love it. Like, Call of Duty's all about cheesy shit like that. You can't have an actual interesting COD game without stuff like that. You just can't. Like, every category is just perfect, from the weapons, the gunplay, the map design. I literally cannot think of a single map in this game that is bad and I hate playing. Like, they're all actually good maps. Even the two maps that people consider the bad maps in this game, which are Crisis and Cracked, they're 10 times better than most of the maps that Infinity Ward and Sledgehammer have been cooking over the years, that's for sure. And the map you see in this gameplay right now is Kowloon, which is a DLC map. So yes, people do still play the DLC, and the game is still relatively popular. Considering that it's 14 years old, I think the player base is pretty impressive. It's not... You're not always going to find a match all times of the day. Like, this game I found at like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. It was an off hour, so that's why it's only 4v4 and not 6v6. But usually if you come in during peak times, especially in the evenings and on the weekends, then you'll always get a 6v6. You'll get into matches almost instantly, at least for Team Deathmatch. Other game modes are pretty dead. Domination, you might get lucky here and there. Free-for-all, you might get lucky here and there, but for the most part, it's exclusively TDM, which is the case for the vast majority of these older COD titles. Another thing that I've always said, and I will continue to say it with Black Ops 1, is that the only version that you should even consider playing is the Xbox version. So the 360 version, which is also backwards compatible on the Xbox One, Series S, and Series X consoles. The PS3 and PC versions are both really bad. PS3 sucks because if you did not have an account created before January of 2019, or even logged into Black Ops 1 on your PSN account before January of 2019, then the game is not unplayable, but you cannot rank up or level up. It will not save your stats. So if you play, let's say you play your first session of Black Ops 1 on PS3, you get to level 10, 15, whatever it is, then you log back in the next day and you're back to level 1. Yeah. So, you know, it might not affect you. You may have an account that is old enough, but that has created a situation where the PS3 community is so much smaller compared to Xbox because new players can't get into the game, which is a problem. If a game is, you know, supposed to be kept alive after all these years, and you don't have a way for new people to get into it, that's obviously not sustainable. Besides the fact that on Xbox, you can play Black Ops 1 on modern consoles, while if you're a PlayStation guy, you have to dust up your old PS3, and it's just not as convenient as it is on Xbox. And the PC version is just dead. Nobody plays it, and it's not worth your time. Unless you're just looking for zombies and couldn't give less of a shit about multiplayer, then there is a lot going for Black Ops 1 Zombies in 2024. Still people creating modded content for it, crazy enough. So, for that reason, then yeah, it's worth it if you're a zombies guy or just a campaign guy. But multiplayer? Absolutely not. Do not play anything besides the Xbox version of Black Ops 1. Can't really think of a Call of Duty game where that's not the case. Obviously, except for the ones that have crossplay, because that doesn't really matter, and also the games that are on PS4, you know, like from Call of Duty Ghosts until Black Ops 4. You're good going with either PS4 or Xbox. But if we're talking about the classic golden age of Call of Duty, from Call of Duty 4 to Black Ops 2, every single game is better on Xbox. And the PC versions of all those games are either dead or unplayable or unrecognizable because they're modded to shit. And, you know, I talk a lot about how Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3 have had serious hacking problems, cheating problems over the years. I have never really experienced that with Black Ops 1 over the 14 years that I've played the game. Of course, I've run into them here and there. Very sporadically, though. It's not a common thing that you're going to run into every single day that you play, like it was with Black Ops 2 and 3. I'm not sure exactly why that's the case, why Black Ops 1 doesn't have as much of a cheating issue, because all three of those games have the same theater mode exploit, if I'm not mistaken, that makes it easier to cheat those games. You notice Treyarch games are hacked more than Infinity Ward games are, and Sledgehammer games are. So it has a lot to do with theater mode because Treyarch's the only one that does theater mode on all their games. But yeah, cheating has never really been a problem in Black Ops 1, at least not a common enough problem that would deter you away from playing the game in 2024. I really can't think, like, objectively of any reasons why you should not play the game, and I know I might be biased, I might have a lot of nostalgia for this game, and that might be clouding my judgment, but even the graphics and the gunplay, everything still holds up fairly well, but I also grew up during that time period. If you're a newer gamer, because 14 years ago the game came out, there are a lot of 13, 14-year-olds that play Call of Duty, so you weren't even born yet, most likely, if you're a teenager that plays COD. So some younger people might be watching this video, they might be looking at the gameplay being like, oh my god, those graphics are terrible. Same way I felt, by the way, when I played GoldenEye 007 on N64, because that was like a generation or two before my time, and I was like, wow, these graphics are pretty rough around the edges. And the gameplay just didn't feel smooth, it felt very clunky, like, I don't know, I don't think that Black Ops 1 has that problem as far as the gameplay itself. The core fundamental gameplay, I think, still holds up pretty well in 2024. But if you're used to slide canceling every 2 seconds and being able to mount your weapon off a wall or whatever shit that they have in the new Call of Duty games, you might be like, oh, this game doesn't have as much as the new games do. But I'm honestly not sure if it's entirely nostalgia-based and isn't just a kick-ass game, because I actually played Modern Warfare 2 before Black Ops 1. Christmas 2009, I got the game, and I was playing it during its prime. I loved Black Ops 1 so much more, even though MW2 was my first COD, my first M-rated game that I was allowed to play. But I still go back to MW2 in 2024, and I'm like, a lot of these maps just aren't good. Estate, Skid Row, Quarry, and I forget that giant snow map, the one that's like really, really big. There are a good amount of maps that I just do not fuck with in MW2. Black Ops 1, I love, or at least like, every single one. So, I don't know, that can't be nostalgia if I played MW2 first and played a lot of it during its prime, right? Honestly, the only Call of Duty game that even comes close to being as good as Black Ops 1 is Black Ops 2. Every other game is just on a lower tier, much lower tier compared to those two games, that it's not even, like, it's not even comparable. And it's pretty much the same amazing game that it was back in 2010, except for a couple of things, because the player base is obviously not nearly as big as it was during its peak, like the wager matches, where you can bet like 10,000 COD points, and back then COD points were an in-game currency, not some microtransaction bullshit. And I've honestly never had any interest in playing Sticks and Stones, One in the Chamber, gun game after Black Ops 1, because they were just like a party game playlist, and it's only fun when you're wagering like all your money and putting it all on the line, you know? So that's gone, sadly. But other than that, there's nothing to complain about, really. Still a great game in 2024. The best online multiplayer game I've ever played in my entire fucking life. Seriously, it's still there for you to play. So definitely check it out if you haven't before, or if you're an old player, you should definitely come back because it's still the greatest COD of all time, and always great to come back to every now and then. Do you still play Black Ops 1 in 2024? Let me know in the comment section down below. And don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for more classic online multiplayer gameplay and commentary.